Ugh. Hello and welcome everybody. It is bright and early, 8 o'clock in the morning on December. So off camera, I did go ahead and mow and bale up the last portion of our field. Um, we do have to wrap it. Unfortunately, we currently are only 21% fermentation on the ones we wrapped after last episode. So we will have to pull the tractor out and get wrapping. But first, we need to make sure that our greenhouse is full. So, pull the tractor out. Might as well go ahead and grab the wrapper. We'll grab the wrapper, hook up to the water trailer. Then we will put some water into our greenhouse. And that way we have that income going. So I guarantee it's probably pretty low since sleeping through the night and all the work that we had done as well. Set that to go ahead and fill. We did pay off another chunk of our loan, another 14.8 thousand. So we're getting closer there. We're not paying as much on the interest, but we do have a problem since we're down to only 18,000. All right, drop the trailer. This up a little bit. And then we should be able to go ahead and hop into baling. But knocking this out a little bit earlier means that we should be able to sell pretty early into January, since it takes that full month time to go ahead and ferment these bad boys. So yeah, we definitely have quite a few bales to load up and sell. So after I get done wrapping all these, I will probably start loading. I'm not sure how long it's going to take as far as fermentation goes. There's a few things that I did want to look at. I know we will be able to sell a lot of those bales today. And then hopefully we'll get enough to do a little bit what I was planning. There's a couple of mods that I went ahead and installed. Because I am planning on plowing up a section to actually plant a field. But one of the things is when I plow, I'm going to end up with a bunch of fieldstone. So one of the mods I installed is to help me get rid of that fieldstone. It's not nearly as big as the base game stone picker, but it should help me get the stones off the field. So that's one of those things that I wanted to go ahead and get, is something that we can get the stones off the field, and then we also wanted to see what we can do with the stones. So we might put in a small lime production on our farm. That way we can make those stones usable and kind of lower our all-around cost of operating. Because if we're taking the stones off the field and turning them into lime that we're going to spread back on the field to help our pH balance a little bit, that should definitely save us a little bit. I know lime is only $450 per 2,000 liters to buy from the store, but if we can remove that cost as much as we can, it should help us out in the long run as far as field maintenance. Now, we do have to be a little cautious about how much that spreader is going to cost us. Let's see why this bale wraps. Let's go ahead and pull up the store real quick and on our phone and see what our options are going to be as far as lime spreading. Alright, so I'm going to go into fertilizer spreaders. Okay, so this one doesn't do lime, and this one doesn't. So right now we have the $45,000 one that will spread lime, but we also have this one that I added that's 13,000. Granted, only holds 2,000 liters, but it'll spread lime. So that might be what we go with. That's 13,000 that we can't afford to do right at this second. That, and we also don't have the lime there. But what we do want to also look at is as far as stone pickers. I did a windrower, so that's going to cost us 4,000 versus the 56, but it only has a 2.5 meter range, so we would need that as well as a bucket for our front loader. So this would hold 1,000 liters if I did that one. But also I have these ones. But they don't hold nearly as much. And I should be able to just collect it with a bucket for 1,600. So 5,000, I should be able to do it. Okay. Now, as far as putting up a lime production, how much are we looking at? So if we jump in to productions and scroll, there it is. So 12,000 for the stone crusher. So hopefully so overall looking at a little over 17,000 to go ahead and get that up, but we also need a plow as well. And I think that's going to be another 17,000. I went right over it. Okay. I mean, there is the 6 meter that we could get for 8,000. Or we could get that 17,000 one there. So we might go with that just as the cheaper option for now. But so we got a few investments that we want to spend on, but we kind of need to get to the point where we have that money in order to go ahead and plow the field and get that ready. So I think I am going to go ahead and do a little bit of a time lapse here. Oh, and see, I ran out of bale wrap. That's a problem. Alright, thankfully I did have enough money to go ahead and buy a pallet of bale wrap. Definitely needed to finish the first section that we had. We're only getting about 20 bales per refill. So I am going to go ahead and jump into a time lapse, and I will catch back up with you guys after that is done. Oh, just finished wrapping all of those bales. Did try and group them up a little bit to possibly make it easier to load. We'll see how it goes here next month as far as loading those that I grouped. Do want to check if I, can keep from running into the side of the barn. All right, and disconnect that. Now, I'd have a set of bale forks around here. There they are. So, a couple of things we want to see is, oh, goes back the trip. All right, how many can we fit in this trailer? Also, leave. Where are we at as far as fermentation? Okay, so that's one I've just wrapped. Alright, where do we start? Over here. So these are only at 27. Which isn't great. Isn't great at all. But what I can do is I can go ahead and start loading. Make sure this is... Yeah, okay. I'm going to start loading these and see how many we might be able to fit in this trailer. So that's going to be a very good question. And it looks like we are getting snow, which is not ideal. Now, is it going to be better to load sideways and try and stack that way? Or should I try and load it standing on end? Let's see. If I did... I gotta get it up a little bit higher. Might be able to squeeze two. That way. It might be better to go ahead and stand up on end. Yeah, because it doesn't look... That would really hang off. Question is, if I stab it, go that way. Got it turned. Oh man, it is really snowing out here. What should I grab maybe as a counterweight? See if I can't pick up two of them. Okay. Let's go see. What would be a decent counterweight that's not going to get too far into our way? Wonder if I can hook up the bale wrapper to the back and see if I can pick up two with that. sure I lower it down a little bit. Tap this one. They'd be able to sneak up. Try and get them lined up a little bit better. Lower that down. See if I can't push that into the corner. Okay. Looks like we might be able to get 3 that way. That might just do, that might be enough weight, yep, to get this trailer loaded. By carrying that as on the back end as a weight. Ooh, it's still a little bit wobbly there. All right. Oh, and I was not over the trailer. All right, so we get to try this again. Wonder if I can knock it just sideways, just a hair. Oh, not poke it, knock it sideways. There we go. Now I should be able to pick both of them up. Right, now get over the trailer this time. And tip it out. Right. That's a problem. I can't lift it any higher. Yeah, we might just have to do at a time. Didn't have any issues with that on the first one. Because I didn't get it. Okay. Well, now they're a bit better lined up. No, maybe not so much. Okay. One at a time it is. But man, the snow is really coming down. We might have to take a break and let the snow pass. It is a nice, cool 38 degrees. And my fingers, they're just not working the way they're supposed to. Well, guys, it appears that we are going to have a problem. It is already 6:45 in the evening, and, well, the bales just aren't fermented. So they're only about a third of the way done. So that means that we're going to almost have to wait 3 months before we're going to be able to make any money from those. That's not going to be good. So we're going to have to figure out another way to come up with the money for the loan. So we only have about one more loan payment in the bank. So either we are going to go ahead and sell a couple of just grass bales from what we already loaded, or yeah, we might have to sell a load of grass bales real quick, and then probably end up picking up some of the ones that we just wrapped that aren't quite fermented to try and make it until those ones are. This is not good. It's not good at all. So I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and sell what we've loaded. And then I guess we got to find where we should go sell them at real quick. All right, so it looks like the animal dealer is going to be our best bet for selling these. So we'll drive over there real quick and see how much we get from just this load of grass. And we might have to make a few adjustments coming up soon. But I was able to get 10 in the trailer. I just had to really work at stacking them. It's not perfect, but the load will make it. Kind of shift into one side a little bit. But it should make it up just fine. Got plenty of horsepower to get there. Or not. That was odd. Alright, so apparently we just lost 2 bales. I thought they were strapped in. I just have to drive back and pick them back up. So where's the animal dealer? Oh, there goes another 2. Out the front, too. Okay, that's a new one. I know, since this last update, we've had a bit of issues with the tension straps working properly. So that might be what is happening there. Alright, so we got $300 for 2 bales. Alright. Yeah. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the trailer real quick, and we're going to go grab the bales that we've dropped, get those sold off. But as far as what we're going to get grass-wise, that's not going to be super beneficial. I'll make it a little less tight, but next month we are definitely going to have to figure out what we're going to be able to do money-wise. Ooh, okay, I don't have a counterweight. Ooh. Keep them low to the ground, low to the ground. All right. All right. All right. Smooth sailing, smooth sailing. Maybe if I use the trailer to pick up the other 2 as my counterweight, I should be able to get those in here and sold. And then we will see what we can do. So we're going to have to do something to make up for that, and then Because the silage is what I was banking on to make it through the winter months. So that's gonna set off what we had planned to do anyway. So we're not gonna be able to get fields plowed because we're not gonna be able to afford a plow and pay off our debt at the same time. Ooh, even with the trailer, this is still a rough ride. Alright. Gotta keep them lower. So, selling 12 bales. Did not make a ton of money. Alright, so what we sold this month in bales was only $1,900. And we have to make 14,000. I don't think we have enough just grass bales to make it that way. Oh, How much do we have to play with? Alright, so might have to see what we can do to try and get a little bit more income for next time. But at least we do have enough money to make it into January. And then February is going to be a whole nother story as far as being able to make the payment. Might have to go back and I don't think this field is going to be quite ready to mow just because it hasn't been growing. I think that's the first growth stage, because even if it was the second, we might have been able to get away with mowing it, but this isn't good, guys. It's not looking good. Alright, well, I will put the trailer away for now. And we will top off the greenhouse. It's water. And then I'm going to look into what other businesses, well, productions that we can use to try and turn the profit that we're going to need in the meantime. Because I don't think our one little greenhouse is going to cut it. Alright, well, problems. So we're gonna need a little bit of money in order to make some money. Not sure what happens if we can't make a payment on the loan. It might end up going negative, but we can make that back once we are able to sell. But need to find out something we can do. Even yeah, even if we gotta sell a piece of equipment. To try and make it through the month. Then we might be able to get back up once we sell all that. So trying to decide what we're gonna need and what we're not gonna need in the meantime. So we can't use the baler anymore until grass starts growing again. So that might make it to where we can get there, but we'll take a look, and when I come back next episode, we'll see what we can't figure out then. But until then, thanks for joining us, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, go ahead and dislike it. And leave a comment down below on what you didn't like, and so I can try and improve. Thank you so much. Have a good one.